he's not being linked at the moment with any football team around Europe. And I don't think the Saudis want him either. So I don't
Which is strange. Yeah.
I know, which is really strange. So
Mm.
it's really, really not done a lot of. It's not done any good to his reputation, has it? You know, because he was a brilliant player, and to then go from grace to grass, um, that's it. And then the other one is Jadon Sancho's, who has been linked seriously with Juventus. Now, whether that materializes or not, we don't know. So, how do you think it's going to work out with Marcus Rashford back at Manchester United? Because he's due to start training with them, pre-season training.
Mm.
Um, what do you think is going to happen there?
Well, yeah, I think the pre-season training has already started at most clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them will still have overseas trips, but yeah, Rashford was asked, as I read the other day, he was asked not to attend training at Manchester. I think because there was I don't know, a bit of a bad taste in the club's mouth about it, the way he's spoken about the club and so on. But then I saw yesterday, I think it was, that he actually did turn up at training, which I suppose it shows he's got confidence because, I'm not sure his actions last season would have always gone down well with other players there. So yeah, I mean, good luck to him if he's got a fairly thick skin and he's not got a club, then arguably he's got to go back to where he's still under contracts. So you
Yeah.
can't blame him for doing that. But it is surprising, isn't it? Because we know a few weeks ago or less he was linked with Barcelona.
Yeah.
And I remember reading there that they were imposing some strict conditions in this offer. Now, we don't know what they are, but one imagines it might be he has to remain focused on the football side of his life and perhaps not get embroiled in other things like politics or whatever. So
Yeah.
maybe that was part of it. I don't know. I never really read, or perhaps they didn't disclose what those conditions were. As you say, Saudi, you think, I don't know whether he thought at one stage he could go there. I'm not
Mm.
sure he would want to go there at this point because he probably still feels he has things to offer. But of course, he was on loan, wasn't he, at last season? Was it Villa he was at?
Aston Villa, yes,
He
correct.
was, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
I think he did okay there. I watched a couple of their games, and he sometimes came on as a sub. And whatever else we say, on his day, he's a good footballer. He had speed, and you
Did.
think it's not that long since he was an England regular, and he would play and he'd be a threat to the opposition. But that already seems like history. I don't know whether Thomas Tuchel will pick him again in the future. I don't know, but um, yeah, that's a mystery to me. His whole football career seems to be falling off a cliff.
It is.
And you think, why? Is there more to it than we, the public, know? Is he more involved in things outside of football or whatever? I don't know. But I mean, as I say, I wish him well. I think his heart is in the right place. You sometimes think maybe some footballers can't handle the the fame, the praise, the money, and they get a bit above themselves. I don't know. I'm not saying that's true in his case, but sometimes they do get a bit outspoken if that's happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think Manchester United will want to keep him. It would seem a step too far to expect that club and its officials, owners, to accept him back with. And its officials, owners, to accept him back with anything like good grace because he was so critical and made it so clear he didn't want to be there.
It was.
As for Sancho, well, again, my view when he played for Manchester United season before last, really, or maybe some of last season.
Mm.
I never really rated him. Now, obviously, they saw something in him. Didn't they pay 80 million for him originally? He
Yeah.
obviously has got ability, but I don't think that was particularly portrayed at Man United. Maybe to do with their style of football didn't suit him or whatever. But I always think a really good footballer, whatever his circumstances, wherever he plays, you will see signs of that brilliance. Someone's paid all that money for once in a while. But I personally, I mean, I know
Mm.
I didn't see him every week, but I never saw any sign that he was anything like a brilliant footballer. So again, I wouldn't think he'll be part of the plans of Manchester United. And again, is the problem that in both cases, the club is asking for too much money. I don't know whether that is the case, but if they're slapping a fee of 80 million on Sancho and 80 million on Rashford,
Mm.
then maybe that might explain why clubs are scared off because
Mm.
they don't want to pay that much money. If they feel
Yeah.
there's a degree of risk in taking them because of recent performances, they might say no. We'll offer you half of that or something.
Yeah.
And maybe Man United, with their financial issues they've had, are digging their heels in and saying, no, we're not going to let them go for less than whatever.
Mm. That's a very good point you've got there. You've made there. Now the next one is Angie. Angie Postokoglu. Oh, this is the first
Good,
time
yeah,
I
that's
actually
good.
I was actually able to pronounce his name. Right. So he
Postacoglu, yeah.
Postokoglu, yeah. He's um he's been linked to Bradford FC.
Oh,
Where
really? Really?
yeah. They're actually
Your neck of
saying,
the woods.
yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. And they're actually saying that that the post was vacant. Now, I don't know of that post being vacant. Have you heard anything about?
No,
Um,
no, I haven't.
no, I don't know of that post being vacant. Perhaps they said, perhaps they must have sacked the previous manager or his contracts run out. But anyway, how do you think he'll fare at Brentford, Angie?
At Brentford, is that what you said?
Yeah, Brentford FC, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do you think he'll fare? Because
Sorry, so is that
he's
what you said at the beginning?
yeah.
Brentford FC? I thought you.